All right, let's move on to Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge.
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
And we get some real footage.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like in Lion and in Hidden Figures. Because that's real footage at those two I haven't seen. All three of them incorporate. I basically use the same. Well, I mean, tell the story, then show you the real people. You know,
it's a strategy. It's been on Brothers. Strung through.
I mean, if those people, it's a nice nod. You gotta,
it's classic biopic.
Yeah,
move. And there's certain movies in here that are Oscar baity, and we've talked about this. That means Hacksaw Ridge, I think, is one of them. Hidden Figures is one of them, even though I still enjoy it. And then the rest feel genuine. Even Lion doesn't even feel Oscar baity to me.
No, yeah, you're right.
The rest of them feel genuine. So let's say Hacksaw Ridge.
Andrew Garfield in the main role.
Yeah, here's the thing, and if you read my review, it's a pretty short one. I just think this movie is miscast left and right. I don't like Andrew Garfield in the lead role.
I didn't like him at first. He grows on you because he's the lead. You watch the movie. I like Vince Vaughn, but I did not like him in this role at all.
No, I love Vince Vaughn too, but this is what I basically said. They pulled a David Schwimmer from Band of Brothers, but in Band of Brothers, they understood why he was in that role didn't feel right, and they used that to enhance the story, move the story forward by leaving him behind. Right? Okay. They're like, no, we're going to take him in there. He's going to get injured. Like it doesn't fit the rest of the movie to some degree. It fits the first half. It doesn't fit the second half.
He should have just been Vince Vaughn's character. Should have just been that intro scene of him, which I think was pretty good. And that's it. I don't think he should have been in the battle with them. But it doesn't make the movie worse though. I don't.
And you have.
I had a hard time concentrating. That's the problem. It's hard to see past Vince Vaughn because I know who Vince Vaughn is. I've seen all these ridiculous comedy movies. I can't take him seriously anymore. Nothing against the guy, but
I'll disagree in that fact because I think the beginning, his kind of when he walks into the barracks, whatever. Like I think that's kind of it can stand up with like an iconic.
Well, I think it's cool because it's a twist on it. It's not like your classic
different.
one.
It's witty, it's smart, it's funny, and that's what Vince Vaughn is. So
for
that there, it was perfect. Like I don't understand why I don't agree with what you guys are saying.
The end, find intimidating at all.
Yeah, but it was through dialogue.
I don't know if
it was so jokey about it, which you've never really seen from a lieutenant like that.
Yeah,
it was always like in your face. That's not what it was.
It was kind of Full Metal Jacket. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah, but he had the yelling and
like right in someone's face. Yeah.
But it was also very witty and smart.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Would like talk like, "Hey, now you're gonna do this, son," and then it's just it was.
I don't know. I understand how you can. Here's the thing. I think he did a good job in what to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think necessarily needed one for that role.
Yeah, but that's just like a weird point to make.
Well, no, and there's also Elton or whatever. Mr. Smith is his dad in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an Oscar baity role for sure.
And he is overacting in that role. I'm sorry, he is way over the top.
Well, man, it's just how he looks. Like it's
the whole drunk thing. He's like he cuts his hand.
It's your classic tropes of a father like that. But he plays out the other part where he is kind of sympathetic.
Well, that and his southern accent's terrible.
Yeah,
like and that's you can say the same thing about Andrew Garfield's southern accent is like. Almost laughable, and it's like over the top. It's just so over the top. And I understand they're going for a certain feel there, right? They want to kind of be. He's kind of supposed to be like innocent and traditional.
But if you look at the footage that they showed of the real character, or the real white person, he was just basing his voice off of that guy. No different than what's his name in American Sniper. A voice that sounded exactly like the real life guy.
Right. I mean, there's certain parts of this movie that I didn't get from Hidden Figures or Lion, where I felt like I could see where the reality of the actual events and the Hollywood of the movie met, and I think Hidden Figures does a good job of blending that. Although there is certain times where you can kind of be like, well, that's probably didn't happen that way. But in this, it's like the way that final act is just so pure Hollywood that I can't like.
But that's the thing. It's like it's based off a true story. He saves this amount of people, and he goes back, and every time it's like an adventure. in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, clearly he just went back and he was just taking back the bodies. It wasn't like he was fighting a new boss enemy every time. He was bringing back a body. Yeah. But like, that's the Hollywood part about it right there. Like, that's just something I accept when I go into a movie like that.
No, I didn't hate the movie. I think it's I don't know if it's deserving even of a Best Picture nomination. I don't. Is what I come down on.
Yeah, I just think the production value, like when we get into like the war type, like the actual battle scenes, it is actually a long period of time. We have a lot of those scenes.
Well, I think the first half is a much more interesting movie than the second half.
Yeah, the story with the Father Hugo Weaving character.
Well, I think you missed it while you were in the bathroom there, but I think he overacted that role.
You think so?
Absolutely. He's way over the top. He's pure cliche. I
think the character's cliche. I don't think his
performance is too much. I think he's doing too much.
So that's the story for this movie for you. Is 3 performances that are just like not cutting for you.
And that's really what it comes down to. Like the lead role I can't get behind, and then the other two major influences in his life they don't feel right to me. And if that's where I separate from the movie, I get that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get into it.
So yeah, for me, like I just didn't have that separation. I went along with these characters, and I didn't really, I don't know, I just didn't see the actors and how they overacted it. So for me, it was just it was a Hollywood version of a true story for sure. But Oscar baited, what I call it, Andrew Garfield, his acting when he's connecting to those, I thought was...
That actually, you're right, I did enjoy that. Like, the two of them, the chemistry.
He really showed of kind of could look like, I thought.
And she did a great job, too.
And she was cast perfectly. Her eyes are massive. She's just a...
Very emotive. Yeah. She's a girl.
That's the number one takeaway. I don't know. And Gibson makes good movies. Say what you will.
Again, he's made some movies.
Suicide Squad 2.
Well, we're not going to talk about that today. But he's made like 5 movies in his entire career.
Yeah, but they're all like relatively good movies.
They're all like pretty
Braveheart obviously number 1. But...
Yeah, I mean...
They're all pretty epic movies for sure. Yeah, they are. And when you go to a war movie, it's hard not to compare it to Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers and all that stuff.
Yeah, and
that's what it's doing in certain parts. But the action scenes went actually pretty in, I thought.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The action scenes felt like they were taken right out of Saving Private Ryan.
And for me, that's why I kind of was okay with Vince Vaughn being there, because we had all these characters we kind of like got introduced to, and then we just had this huge action montage of kind of like throwback war action scenes with those characters, so we get to actually know some of the characters in those action scenes.
Yeah.
So when they did die or did get injured, it was a little bit affecting.
It's tough to balance because they do introduce so many of these characters that are throwaway characters, right? Like, and
then some of them don't be, and some
survive. Yeah, sure, but they're like this is this one aspect of this person's personality, and that's what they are.
Yeah, and Vince Vaughn calls them out on that, and then that's what they are. It's like I don't know. It was as if Mel Gibson was trying to make a Clint Eastwood movie. Is what it felt like. And
I like the idea of conscientious of it, right?
Which is why I like the half of the movie much more.
And look, it's a true story. Like that is, unimaginable with
going to war without a weapon is crazy.
And then just like what he actually was able to accomplish in doing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
There's the first half where he's standing up for his basically what he believes in, and facing the consequences, whatever that meant. So if that meant going to jail, then he was willing to do that.
Be court-martialed.
Right. And all that, and that was the interesting story to me. The idea of actually going into Japan, and then let's show me traditional war clips.
That's what's cool about this entire story, is that's the interesting thing. Everything was against him, and then look what happened when he went in there. It turned out to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's why it's cool, though. Like,
the story itself is cool. And the fact that it's a real story is cool. I just don't know if the movie executed it very well. That's all.
I think you kind of answered there when it does such a good job of like that interesting part of him going against the code, and then look what happens throughout that when he does do that. It's an interesting outcome.
I think the way that they went through that second half was poorly executed. Just too much, too Hollywood. The way that he avoids damage and basically injury through that final is almost like it's from a cartoon.
But then that's the same thing as saying with Arrival. We don't concentrate on how their machines or the elevator works or whatever. That's not what we're supposed to look details. At.
Well, it's different though. It's different
saving 57 people.
No,
and it's Hollywood made.
But is the true story that all happen in one day? Did you do that over one night?
That's the only Hollywood part, though. Is they dramatize that part, but it's still an epic part. That number is an amazing number, the amount of people he saved. the amount of energy and like willpower you'd have to do that. And then we see the real footage of this person. He's a very quirky and weird person.
Please God, let's just.
And Andrew Garfield plays a quirky and weird kind of person. Well, I think that they did a good job. So that's my take.
That's fair. I can see that.
Hey, guys, I don't have to like every movie. It's
no, you don't. I'm just trying to counter some of the points.
Anything else you guys want to say about Hacksaw Ridge?
Nah,
all right, moving on then.